Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. I hope it's happy. I'm here with Chris. We're hanging out. It's an open panel. I just checked the news. It's Trump trial and Israel and stuff like that. So not really anything there that I noticed. So I guess the show is all about you. Whatever you want to talk about as an audience, feel free to suggest topics or hop on. Otherwise, Chris and I will just do our thing and chat. What's up today, Chris?
Not much, man. I said
Oh,
I woke up. I've got vertigo issues today.
oh no.
Worse than normal.
You want to? You don't have to stream if you want to
Yeah,
just
I'm just like
chill
that's the
out.
reason I'm not on camera though, because I'm laying down right now. That's all.
It started this morning.
Yeah, it started early this morning. I don't know what started it, but it happens sometimes. It's not like it happens pretty regularly, but it just isn't. It's usually not like this intense. Whenever these like really intense little spells come on, they usually last this long, but sometimes they
Does
do.
this mean you're
It
not going
happens.
to try to do anything today, like get up and walk around or go downstairs or anything?
Until I mean, if it's when it stops, I probably will. But you know, I'm not while I'm in this state because like it's not. I can't like get up and like really move around safely. So
I
I need to go to
really,
the store and pick up one of these medications here later. But
oh,
I don't know
okay.
if I don't know if I'll get that done or not. We'll
Well, can the
see.
medication wait in case it doesn't? Do
Yeah, I
they
can still got
deliver
some,
now?
but
It seems
it's just
like
like
my pharmacy had something about have your drugs delivered.
yeah, they're supposed to, but for some reason I can't get they won't deliver the her medications for some reason from Walmart, which is where they have the medication sent to. So there wasn't
It's
really
a
our
Walmart
choice
thing. Like
of
they don't deliver anywhere.
yeah, they deliver everything else but the medications. I'm not sure why.
Oh,
At
okay.
least I mean at least not this. Maybe it might just not be this Walmart. I don't know. I'm not saying that it looks like they do on the website or on the app or whatever, but then I never get them to do it. Oh, this cat. This cat has been annoying the crap out of me today.
Well, I really hope that they figure out some way to help you or like minimize it some way to give you some relief.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to even. It's a little hard to think at the moment. Let me see here.
Yeah,
I
that's
plus
that's
I
why
did.
I'm
I
just
just
like
realized
don't. I don't want to watch you
I haven't
like
taken my
strain
meds.
yourself if you don't have to, because I can see you
No,
struggling.
no, no. It's like I just wanted to. I was going to take my medication. I just realized I haven't taken. I take the promethazine, and that'll get rid of the nausea at least. So it's weird. Even though I take these medications every day, I can still like forget to take them. I don't know why.
Is it the
I
ADHD?
don't do that with anything else.
Oh, it's just the
Probably,
med.
yeah. No, it's probably the ADHD.
I know it helps a lot of people to have a system, like some kind of external, either apps that notify
Yeah,
you or a written plan that you can look at each day or something.
I do have things like that, but
Hmm.
I've tried systems and stuff like that in the past, and like
Because with the technology today, it seems almost easier to be ADHD than at any other time. Like you have so many
yeah, no, that's true. I mean, like
like
I do
assistive
have
technology.
reminders in my phone. I do have like medication reminders in my phone, stuff like that, and um, yeah, I even had I've done those things that like I had like I don't know where it is, but I used to have one of those like little like daily pill things where it like has your medication split up and does what you know. So you just get your day's worth of medication, pour it out, and out of its little like cup or whatever. But I don't keep up with it then, and it's just it's
Well,
like even the
it should
things
help.
that your ADHD can defeat even the things that are meant to help you.
But they
Heal
don't. I
ADHD.
guess they don't have to. Is what I'm saying. There are supports out there, whether technological, human, internal things you can do. So it's almost a choice at this point on how much you want your ADHD to affect you or not. And so it's with all the technology out there, it's getting harder and harder to use that.
Oh, I know. I'll
Like I
tell
have
that
no
to my
doubt that's the
ADHD.
cause. That's probably the reason for it. But the ability to compensate for it now is much improved over any other time, I think.
I would definitely have to say so. I mean, at the same time, I don't know, but the world itself is much more has much more stimuli and everything too, which can be overwhelming for ADHD brains. So I mean, like it's kind of there's kind of a trade off there. Like the technology certainly helps, and you can use it in a lot of positive ways, but it can also be you can also really easily get overstimulated or
But I don't know how that, like, even if you're overstimulated, I don't know how that negates the assistance that the technology provides, because it's going to consistently provide the guidance, the notifications, the reminders, whatever state you're in. And so once you see them, like, you figure out your pattern, how often you need to see them. Maybe you need like 2 or 3 reminders in a row before people, like, it's different for each person, but whatever your pattern is, you figure it out and you set up your technology. And then regardless of
yeah.
how stimulated you are, the setup, like the scaffolding that you set up for yourself, should still operate. I just
Yeah, maybe
I
I just
just
need to
don't
set up
want
my own
other people
scaffolding.
watching that with ADHD to like feel hopeless and like there's not plenty of
Oh
options.
no, it's not a hopeless thing.
So
It's
if you
not
do
hopeless.
struggle with this kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah. If you're struggling with ADHD, if it's really bad for if it's a really bad case or something like that, I mean, like, there's always help. I mean, medication helps a lot. I for example, of course, that was like kind of the we started talking about was free and take my medication, which I just do sometimes. But oh, hey, Dolbez. Hey,
Hello.
haven't seen you in a while,
Hello.
man.
Yeah,
hey,
it's
what's
been,
up?
at least with you, it's been a few weeks or months. Not sure how long actually.
A few weeks,
Um,
maybe. I don't think it's been.
like a
I
few
don't think
weeks.
it's
Yeah, it
more
seems
than a
like
couple of
pretty
months.
recent.
I don't remember all the times I've been on this because there have been a few months where I didn't watch a single stream, and then I like join every stream and then no stream, so I don't have a consistent time I join, honestly. Oh, and another guest.
Welcome,
So,
Sean.
Hello.
who's this? Who's this
Sean.
Sean?
Sean from Ireland and Dolbez from Norway.
What's up?
It's the
What's up, guys?
international edition.
What were you talking about? I wasn't listening there. I was in the back for a while.
We were talking about ADHD.
Nothing. Well, ADHD, but we were then Dolbez showed up, so we can start a new topic now.
No, I don't. Just continue the topic, I'm just here to listen and relax. So I have about an hour until I go to sleep, because it's evening, it's late, so this will just be a relaxing last hour.
No, yeah.
Hey,
I forget. Yeah,
There's
you're
there's an echo from
Norway.
someone.
well, I have headsets on, so it shouldn't
Oh.
be me.
Sean, maybe it sounds like someone might have their YouTube running.
Yeah, Sean, can you mute real fast and see if the echo goes away? Hello?
Okay.
It was Sean.
Yeah, it's Sean.
Yeah.
It's Sean. Sure. It's cool. I mean, it's not a big deal, Sean. We're just trying to figure out, just isolate where it was. Yeah, I mean, we weren't talking anything real specific, though. We're just kind of.
Dahlia, does that work for you? Like,
Oh.
they're still in it. Is it?
Well, no,
sorry,
the whole
how do I
StreamYard
turn
is
off
frozen for me.
YouTube?
Yeah,
you have YouTube on, or
that's
just mute it.
Turn off. Yeah, just mute YouTube. Yeah, there you go. And then you can just mute. You can just mute the YouTube video just mute it. You can solely leave it playing if you want. But
Oh, I mean, he's watching. He's in the YouTube video, so why
Yeah, I don't know.
watch it on the side? And you can
I'll
have the
just turn it
chat
off.
in
Although I'm
StreamYard
told
too.
that to get the audio levels right, it's best to watch it on the side.
Yeah, maybe, but like,
So like that to me,
you
that's
could,
something an engineer or producer could do.
yeah, but you could open up the stream to see only when you actually seem to have problems with audio. When it's no problems, why bother?
There's
Why
always
do all the
problems.
extra stuff?
StreamYard's not very good at leveling the sound, and people show up with all kind of different microphones
Yeah,
set at different levels, and so I'm
and I
constantly
mean,
having to tweak it.
some people are screamers though. Some people just talk really loud, which I usually do that, but I'm trying to stay silent now because it's late and I don't want to get all riled up.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
you don't
you have
want
an
to talk about
alarm for the
controversial
stream.
subjects.
Wow.
Well, I don't have
You
nothing
don't.
against controversial subjects. I just don't want
You don't
to.
start fighting like. Can't punch each other life on air anyway.
Well, if we don't pick a topic, it's going to end up being climate change.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
always.
ADHD.
Always.
No, people who have ADHD and autism care about climate change the most.
I care about it to the extent that I believe it's a credible threat, and I'm already doing my part. B, India, China, and C, that's all I have to say about it.
yeah, me too.
That's such an
I
When my
autistic way
efforts
to say it.
become effective, let me know.
That's such an autistic way to say it. It's funny. I know it's not. But you know the way that there's an increase in autism in the world? Is that because the chemicals in the water? Or is that because people are all old and having kids later?
I think it's
Theory.
identification, like the categories expanding, like many others, just through improved identification. But then there's also like the Silicon Valley phenomenon where autistic people are meeting and having children, and the rates of autism in their children are showing an increase. So they think maybe because of the heritability that more autistic people might be mating and contributing to it as well. But I don't know the details of which one is the most.
There's also a funny theory. I don't remember where I got this from, but that autism is the reason it's so prevalent and the reason it's spreading is autism. The reason it's spreading and is so prevalent is specifically something about the West, that each civilization has their own sort of mental deviancy that is very common in that civilization, and in the West that's autism. I don't know how accurate that is, but I mean, I can see
So that
the
would
relationship.
imply there's no deviance in the other culture, or they have their own.
No. It just
form of
implies
it?
that the other cultures have their own. Every civilization has their own sort of mental deviancy. Whilst in the West, the most prevalent one and the main one is autism. Also, in some other civilizations,
But
could be
it's
another one.
neurodevelopmental, so I don't know how it could limit itself to one culture.
Not limit, just that in one civilization, the rates of autism could be much higher than another. But
the rate.
I don't know if I'm a supporter of this theory or not. I just find it interesting because, at least with the Western specific lens, it is kind of fitting, because if you compare the Western civilization to most other civilizations, it is pretty autistic.
Well, I mean, we did invent rationality and all that other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That autistics geek out on and kind of emerged from our structure there, like thinking around. But I'm sure there were like autistic Mayans and
Oh yeah,
Chinese people.
or there's so many as there are in the West. I mean, proportionally.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who knows? And neurodivergence definitely has a cultural component. So
Yeah.
it diverges not only neurologically but from the cultural forms. Otherwise, you wouldn't notice it. And so it's possible that the neurodivergence just took different forms in different cultures, and they noticed some things that they classified as that we would classify as autism, but other things were just so part of the culture that it didn't stand out.
Yeah, and as you said, exactly. Some cultures.
I also read a theory.
No, continue, Chris.
No, I said I read a theory also that fairly recently I read something about how they were theorizing that autism could be a kind of a mid-stage adaptation style mutation it specifically is a reaction to increased stimuli and just in the world, and the all the technology and the screens and everything else that we're bombarded with, like the speed that it's like it's a mid-stage like evolutionary type thing where
I
like
think
it's
there
not
is
quite
a feedback
sterile.
loop between autism and technology. At least like the what these call the Asperger's end of it.
Yeah.
I
All
have
kinds
no
of
like there's
technology,
a ton of those people in tech that are drawn to computers and machines and programming and software and then they build a technology that kind of inspires them and stimulates their brain to further create more of that.
Do
What
you
is
think
Asperger's? What's that?
It's a they changed the way that they diagnose and categorize autism now. They used to have different types, and one of them was called Asperger's, and it was a very it kind of had a very specific pattern to it, so it was easier to identify and diagnose. And they collapsed all of that into one category now called autism. Like I'm technically not Asperger's. I'm would be called PDD-NOS if they were using the old system, which was kind of a catch-all diagnosis if you didn't fall into one of the other categories. But now it's just all autism spectrum. So Asperger's is not really used anymore, but a lot of autistic people themselves use it or call themselves Aspies, and that's where Spurg comes from, Asperger's. And because they feel like it's helpful to like communicate a particular type of autism that they have.
the
So
way
I'm
I've heard it used
loose with my use of it. If somebody uses it, I'm fine with it. If they don't choose to use it anymore, I'm fine with it too.
Jeff, what do you think about retroactively diagnosing people with autism? So there are a few websites on people saying that Einstein was autistic, Newton was autistic, Da Vinci was autistic. What do you think about that?
They probably all were, and especially if you go with the concept of neurodivergence and not necessarily autism itself. I mean, none of those people had normal brains or neurotypical brains. So whether it was autism, ADHD, giftedness, or some other variety, I think you could probably make the case that like probably most of the great thinkers and artists and creatives and et cetera, have some form of neurodivergence. And I've talked to business people, like businessmen, and they've told me almost every CEO they know or person that started a startup is ADHD. Like it just draws those, it takes that skill set to do that kind of work.
Oh yeah, what is
Yeah, I think so
ADHD
too,
again?
Joe. It's a threshold, so it only like really comes on anybody's attention if it rises to a certain level of noticeability of difference. Otherwise, people could have some of it because it's many genetic factors that contribute to it. It's not just one thing, and never need to call it anything or recognize it as anything unusual. That's why I'm more trait based. Like if there's specific symptoms or traits or manifestations of it that distinguish you from your in group or whatever, focus on those specific things. It doesn't matter what you call them, and just figure out what you need to do to compensate or accommodate yourself to those things.
Sorry, I was gonna. What is ADHD again? I'm really stupid at this.
That's another one that kind of changed. It's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and now they split it into two. It's still ADHD, or it used to be called ADD, attention deficit disorder, and they added hyperactivity, and now they split it into ADHD PI, which is primarily inattentive, meaning your attention span you have a hard time with your focus, or ADHD PH, which is primary hyperactive, which is more the type I have, which is that a lot of energy and just moving around and the energetic type. But people can have a combination of both. And really, I think it's only really useful and shows up the most like in these fine distinctions in the educational system at an early age when they're trying to figure out what services a kid needs, how to do their IEP, etc. When you're an adult, I don't think it matters much if you're primarily PI or PH or whatever.
There's a lot of overlap, at least that I've heard, between giftedness and ADHD and autism, and that sometimes people who are just gifted by themselves are often misdiagnosed as autistic or ADHD. Like, is that a big problem?
That's
Small
why I call
problem?
it neurodivergence.
Yeah, you just want
because
a big phrase. catch them all. Don't try to separate if you don't know, or because neurodivergence just saying that
they're fuzzy categories, so they have some utility on a like rough level, but I wouldn't get too caught up on them. Like people may be familiar with this diagram.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
And
one.
so like I call all of this neurodivergence, and then if you can maybe recognize that some people lean more here or lean more here or here, but most of it is just kind of some of these little middle areas. So it's different. It's so different for each person that who knows. That's why I find it easier to take it on an individual level and what is that person's little symptom palette or mix of traits, and then work from there.
So are most people, if you were to diagnose them, have a mental health quirk in them? Most humans, if you were to diagnose
there
them,
seems to be a correlation, but that's not necessarily a direct one. It could be just from like the social stress of like being different, but mental health is something very different from, because mental health can be acquired, and neurodivergence doesn't necessarily have any negative impact. But a lot of practitioners that are not familiar with neurodivergence will try to diagnose and treat some of it as mental health. So it's very important that you have somebody in there with an eye for the subtle differences between the two sometimes.
Yeah, I should probably get tested on that, because I was always asking myself, why am I so different? I should probably get myself tested on autism, maybe. Probably should.
Or just ask
sure.
like talk.
I know the English system works differently, and it's not always. It depends on what you need a diagnosis for, and how many hoops you have to jump through to get it. Because there's assessments online you can do, but the best way to find out, I find, is to just find other autistic people and start hanging out with them and see if you recognize yourself in them. If you get that mirroring that is missing from neurotypical people, you'll know after not a very long time at all.
Do all autistic people have that physical twitching or habits that they do?
The stimming
with light and all that?
No, not all of them. And then female autism supposedly presents differently, and females are better at masking. So it's possible for a female to be autistic and perhaps not have any of that because they've gotten so good at suppressing it.
So you think that people had more autism in the past, but we didn't diagnose it in the past. So that's why there's more people being diagnosed with autism now.
Yeah, probably so. That's probably one fact. Same with the gender stuff. Hey, Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. Sorry, I'm
hey, Dave.
fixing my camera.
Wow, you have a nice mic. Holy shit.
Hey, thanks. What I was gonna say, I just wanted to pop in. If you're curious if you are like ADHD or neurodivergent another way, one really useful thing is talking to somebody else who like is already diagnosed and can like kind of go through the weird things that happen, and you'll notice if you do share a lot of it, an instant like almost euphoria in a way, because you're like, finally somebody that understands what I'm going through. Like
you feel normal.
Because when you try to explain it to somebody who isn't neurodivergent in the same way, they can't. It's hard to like grasp even like the thought of how different it is to think the way that we do. So like,
and send them here. This is a good little test place. Send them here. They could hang out with some of us and see, like, get a feel for people on the stream. Like this is their tribe or not.
And we've all got different things that are wrong with us slightly. Like I'm more on the Jeff's more on the like PH side. I'm more on the PI. I don't have a lot of like the stimming and whatever.
Yeah, you seem you're a very calming, grounded presence.
Thanks. Yeah, if
I'm spastic.
If I don't explain to people what's going on in my mind, people don't know that I'm neuroatypical. I've practiced a lot my entire life to hide everything. Like slowing down before I talk. But yeah,
I whatever the truth turns out to be, I think it's going to turn out to be that everybody or many people, more than we realize, are a little bit autistic. So whether you think it should be or not, that's the odd. I'm more concerned with it is.
Well, I mean, the whole reason you want to define it as a spectrum is that so it still fits in with the general population. Like the same with IQ. A person with between 85 and 115 is still on the spectrum, even though they have no mental deficit or exceptionality. They're still on the same spectrum of intelligence. So it would be the same for autism, that even though you have no discernible traits, you're still a human. Like they're not an other kind of human.
Yeah,
It's just that their traits are very, very much more pronounced than yours.
I get what you're saying. Like the otherization could be bad, but it can also be good because you kind of find your tribe by doing that. Like you can find when you try to lump it all together, it feels like you're downplaying the struggle in a way as well, to try to make it less otherized, because there are a lot of struggles involved with it. If you're just putting a broad spectrum autism disorder, like there are people that have to struggle a lot harder than I do that would still fall under that umbrella term, and I don't want their struggles to be like minimized to be like, oh, they're just like this guy. You know what I mean?
Is depression and anxiety a big part of autism?
No, totally separate axes. But if an autistic person is depressed and needs services, there may be a different approach or certain accommodations needed in that treatment that somebody not aware of the autism or doesn't take into account may not realize.
Okay, I didn't have a lot of time. I just wanted to pop in and share that.
Right. Well,
you guys catch you later. I'll be around.
See ya.
All right. Well,
I'm always listening, even if I'm not talking.
Very good to see you.
Well, you're always welcome.
Hey, Lanza.
Yo.
What's cracking?
What do you do?
What cracking? That sounds racist. I just realized that now.
Everything's racist. You're a leftist and eco freak. Everything's gonna be racist to you.
No, I'm just saying. I just watch short videos about like joking about the whip and joking about the whip and all that in TikTok, and then you just said, "What's cracking?" I was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" I never realized that before.
Well, I'm probably racist, but in 2024, I'm sure I'm racist at this point in time.
No, I'm just saying, what does that mean? Like, without the whip, what does it actually mean? What's
cracking? I don't know.
Like,
it's just a phrase. What does it mean? What's cracking? I've just always known it as a little phrase. Let's look it up. Origin of the phrase "What's cracking?"
What's happening?
It might be
Southern Black, Alabama, and/or Aussie slang. Okay, well that explains it. It's a term for news, gossip, fun, entertainment, and enjoyable conversation. That describes the stream perfectly. I should rename it to "What's Cracking." Particularly prominent, Sean, listen to this. Particularly prominent in Ireland. It is often used with
we use that. Yeah, we use that a lot. Yeah.
CRAIC, as in the expression,
crack.
What's the crank? How are you?
What's the crack?
Yeah.
There
you go.
But I never really understood why we use it a lot in Ireland. Yeah. It's like crack cocaine. When they hear that in America, it's like crack cocaine. It's like, no, it's not that.
This is the Irish version. The crack.
Wait, where did I've heard that cracker is a slur for white people. Where the hell did that come from? Because
Let's look at that too.
Yeah.
I don't know it as a slur. We used to call each other, like my black friends used to call us cracker, and we would call each other cracker when we were around my black friends. It's a racial.
Oh yeah, that's from the whip. That's a racist thing.
Especially used. Let's see. The history, exact etymology is debated. It's probably an agent noun from the word crack. The word crack was later adopted. Again, we come back to that Gaelic word crake.
I thought it had to do with the whips.
And it means
and
loud conversation and bragging talk. Let's see. So is it a person that's like white people are always loud braggarts? An example can even be seen in William Shakespeare's King John. What cracker is this same that deafs our ears with this abundance of superfluous breath?
But
honestly, it's like a loud Englishman, that like loud and boisterous. Those
honestly,
crackers.
the funniest the funniest slur for white people is a ghost. Just calling people a ghost. That's really funny. I love that one.
My favorite thing to call white people is pink.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like they remind me of like pink lobster.
That's another good one.
Like pink lobster, like a starfish, slimy kind of thing.
Or mayonnaise people. I've heard that one before too.
Oh yeah. Spooks. White devil. I've heard white devil.
Yeah, well, that's
sorry for.
It's not very creative.
I took over there. What was Water gonna ask there before I took over there?
I don't think I was gonna ask anything.
Okay.
All right. What's the crack then?
Well, what's that say in your thing? Is it "we're the enemy"? Really? Is that what it says?
I think that they got the term "cracker" because when like they say that people would like whip people to work in the fields and stuff, and like when you whip, like it's a crack, like and they call them crackers.
That was the cracker, the whip cracker.
Yeah,
I don't think that's how the term emerged, though.
But I have
that's like a folk etymology.
I have the two funniest slurs for other people used by the Vikings. They called Native Americans, who they found when I went there, skrellinger, which means crazies. Also peelers, because to skrelle means to peel, like peeling a potato. So they call them crazy peelers, basically, the Native Americans. And then the Arabians, they called the blue men, blue people. So apparently Arabians were blue.
Y'all are so weird.
Neighbors are all autistic.
That is weird.
Yes, we are. We're
what kind of fungi do they have in Iceland growing under that snow?
They have a lot, but
out of that reindeer.
Unironically,
well, I mean that's where the infamous the berserker.
Well, Bjork is from there. No, that's Iceland. Never mind.
Amantia muscaria. It's like the Super Mario mushroom, the looking thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of
they literally used to eat those mushrooms, and like that's the reason where the idea of the Viking berserker came from. They would eat those mushrooms, and it would like make them go crazy. Supposedly, I mean,
I've heard that something about reindeer dung and mushroom.
And if you go to the Vatican and stuff like that, you see like the cardinals. They all dress in the red and the white too, like kind of like signifying the red and the white on the Scarita or whatever the hell it's called.
And they have that snake chamber that they meet in.
They probably got tunnels connecting them and everything, dude. Who knows what's going on 50 feet underground there? Yeah. I don't want to know, honestly.
I don't know why the conspiracists don't focus on that more. That's one of the worst
conspiracies. It's not a conspiracy. What conspiracy?
That their clothing
is the conspiracy.
Oh, that's not a conspiracy. There's just colors.
Thing in the hidden tunnels.
No, I don't think anyone's going to gain from that conspiracy.
But the thing about here's what I understand about the conspiracists: if it's really true and they really are this thing, and why would they signal it? Why would they communicate? Like, why would they have the need to secretly signal to the world? Just don't do your thing and don't let anybody know. That's what a real cult would do. You would never even know they were out there. They wouldn't create snake auditoriums. They would create normal auditoriums and then continue their cult activities undiscovered.
So you're saying there's no way
conspiracy
to ever know?
Theorists would tell you. Yeah, the conspiracy theorists would tell you that there's some sort of like ancient, like I'm not kidding. I've read this before. I'm not, and it's not something I believe. It's simply like something that I know that conspiracy theorists will say. They believe that there's a like ancient like old laws of the universe that were like the agents of evil or something like that. They have to announce their plans in some means. They're required to do that. They're required to reveal what they do before they do it, and that's the reason why they
that makes it even more weird.
In media like that.
That's just dumb.
Yes, it is.
I was going to say
that. I that of someone that wanted any kind of result.
I could make a correlation though. It's it's called mass psychology, okay? So it's like before, like things just can't be done until they're like somehow psychologically accepted. So that's
Right,
why.
like the speech in The
So it
Dark
like
Knight with the Joker,
prepares the
right?
masses subtly. If they start seeing snake auditoriums, they won't
I
be so
mean, like,
freaked out when the snake people show up.
no, dude, that's exactly what advertisement and what Edward Bernays was doing with like
Oh, yeah, that guy.
education.
Well, Smith's agreeing with you. I don't know if that's a point in your favor or against.
Well,
To be
it's
fair,
like
I think the biggest conspiracies now are climate change denial from the fossil fuel companies and
I definitely think it's
religion.
climate change.
Religion.
Something.
Religion is the oldest
Religion.
conspiracy ever. Like,
But it's a
That-
beneficial conspiracy
maybe
that good
that's
is for
some. I could
individuals
see.
and
I could see
society.
a line of argument there, maybe
So why
in
care?
a sense, a restricted sense. It's the noble
yeah,
lie.
there's
at
good.
least, like Plato's
There's
noble
good
lie.
conspiracies,
But
and then
so is
there's
climate
bad
change,
ones.
dude.
But
Do
why
what?
call it conspiracy and not a belief? Like, it's in the name. It's a religion. It's a belief. A belief is beyond the truth. So why call it conspiracy? It's already admitted that, you know, the truth is not the most essential there. It's the belief and the faith that is most essential, and it's a positive for both individuals and society on a large scale, and gives stability to civilizations. So why should
Well,
we?
it's not always
shouldn't we
positive
post it?
though.
No, but
Not
I think
all
it's more
religions are
positive than the
positive.
alternatives, which is ideology. Because you have to have something to fill the soul. And I'd rather people fill it with religion than with the ideology. Like we saw what happened with fascism and communism when that tried to fill the empty void. And I'd rather have a
Hey,
Christian
Sean,
There's an
sorry,
conservative
dude.
echo
society.
again.
I want to hear what
Somebody's
you're
echoing.
saying, man. But like, Sean or somebody, yeah, is like feedbacking. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Dolbez.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that I would prefer society to fill the void with religion rather than with ideology, because you have to fill it somehow. Instead, you're nihilism. You know, you're just depressive, anxious, suicidal all the time. You have to fill that void, and I think that both from personal reasoning, like what seems right, I would prefer religion, and historically, like what has been the best, what has kept the peace more. And of course, you have a track record of wars and conflicts with religion. I won't deny that, but it's at least lesser in scope and scale and grandeur compared to ideology. At least a modern ideology that replaced religion. So communism and fascism.
And plus, religion's more fun. It's more exciting than ideology. I would want religion too.
Well, to be fair, communism and fascism are pretty exciting. Like, have you seen how they rile up crowds? They are exciting. You can't deny that.
Well, you're right. I don't see a lot of religious wars in the modern world, at least not the modern Western world. But I see an awful lot of
Yeah.
Israel.
warlike
now.
behavior.
Well, yeah, we're
from
seeing
the
one right now with
ideologues
Israel
on the
and
left.
Palestine. The roots of that's all rooted in religion and like beliefs in ancient, land rights and all this shit like that.
But I don't think that's a majority of. I don't think as many people believe that. I think that's the fringe. Than believe in the ideology that's driving some of the violence on the left.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Even like look
Even
at
if
the
the roots of it come
pro-Palestinian
from that.
violence. Do what?
Yeah, that's probably true.
One conspiracy, I just saw a documentary there. BBC did a 6-part documentary on how the fossil fuel industry, especially Exxon, knew about climate change, did studies about it in the 70s, 60s, and they knew about it, and then they lied about it afterwards. They funded like there's institutes that were denying climate change using their own money, the fossil fuel industry. So that's a conspiracy that's real, I believe. And then there's loads of other ones like 9/11.
Are they doing it now? Like what
Yeah.
happened to them? Did they get exposed?
Are you saying that they
In
paid to
2019.
co-opt their fake movement?
Yeah, so in 2019, the scientists that worked for those oil companies talked to the government, and they said how they did it, and stuff like that.
No,
But nobody got fired or jail or anything for it.
Well, J.P. Morgan got caught rigging the market, and they got fined like 900 million or billion, dude. Like it was some ridiculous number, and they just paid the fine and back to business on Monday.
Yep.
I do think white collar crime is goes under prosecuted, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, they deserve to go to jail, not just have to pay fines like that. I think.
Well,
I
that
think
would mean
there
the
needs to be
SEC.
real consequences for those people.
That would mean the SEC is in their pocket, gentlemen.
Or
I do
something's
realize
not
that.
working.
What is the SEC for the
Security.
the-
What is it? Security Equity. What is it? Securities Exchange
Security Exchange Commission.
Commission.
Securities
So
and
they
Exchanges
oversee
Commission.
they oversee like the
The markets.
validity of the market, and but they have all these people on board, like this guy named
That's a-
like Vincent Virtue or something, and he owns like Virtue Financial, and him and J.P. Morgan apparently love rigging stuff. You know, Jekyll Island, Shekel Island, you know.
Started all that stuff, or like in the 1920s and stuff, before the Great
the
Crash.
movie that came out. There was a movie that came out not that long ago that was about the whole GameStop like stock thing and like the short selling thing that had some interesting kind of like commentary on like the way the people that were trying to do the short selling were trying to basically crash the GameStop stock and how they were doing it and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. But I mean, it was not a very fair, balanced kind of viewpoint of a movie. It was very, very heavily on the side of what I think what most people are going to agree the people that were trying to make the games that were trying to screw over the the billionaire stock people were kind of the good guys anyway. But it definitely painted them as like almost mustache twirling villains a little bit more than they probably should have. But it would have been nice to see a little bit more nuance in it. But it was still all right. It was worth watching.
Did you
I
guys
think it's
know?
called Dumb Money.
Dumb Money?
It's called Dumb Money. That was the name of the movie. It has like Seth Rogen and it has a bunch of people in it. I can't remember all the names right now, but it was
you
worth
guys know
watching.
J.P. Morgan owned the Titanic, right?
Oh,
No,
here
I
we go.
guess I did not know that.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Is
the
it-
dude. I'm not.
He would be. You mean it must have been his family owned it? I mean, J.P. Morgan's not that old, is he?
Dude, they just make.
Is he still alive?
They just make
Is
trust.
JP Morgan a person? I thought it was just an investment fund.
I thought he still existed. I thought he was still alive. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's dead by now.
Existed.
He was around in the 1920s. He was the most richest man in America, but he's long gone. But he started JP
Okay,
Morgan
long gone,
Chase,
yeah.
the bank.
Like, yeah,
He started
federal-
JP Morgan.
Yeah, dude, J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, he's.
And
It's who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of like the other guy, the other really old rich guy that's like still alive. The one what's his name? The guy that owns Berkshire Hathaway or whatever.
Yeah. What's his name again?
I can't remember. That's he's like the richest. He's just about the richest guy in the world. He's like right up there with
sounds like a
Musk
cracker to me.
Yeah. What? No.
So does anybody believe that the billionaires are doing some weird shit in like Epstein Island and all that stuff?
I don't
No.
believe anything but what island?
Epstein Island? Like, do
Epstein
you not
Island.
think like loads
Do I
of billionaires are
believe that they're
conspiring to
doing
kill us
things
all?
there?
WEF and all that. So does anybody believe that like the globalists are trying to take over the planet? Like that guy
By the
there that
way.
set himself on fire?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy that's I just watched something about that most recent like guy that set himself on fire. You're not talking about the guy that was protesting the Israel thing. You're talking about the guy that would like just went out in front of the Trump trial and set himself on fire just the other day.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I don't watch that.
that guy had like I mean he really he was clearly going through a state of psychosis. He had gone full off the deep end fully He wasn't even like he didn't even have like a coherent political ideology or anything. It was like all a mixture of conspiracies from every end. He believed they were. He was against the Clintons, the Trumps, everybody. There was nobody was good. Everybody was bad. He was. It's a sad case of just like just like this. It's someone that clearly needed mental health support and didn't get it at all. So
Florida men. You know the stereotype of Florida men.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But one thing I do know about like that Epstein time was that was when JP Morgan got fined for rigging the market. It was like the day after JP, or like the day before, or like the week before JP got caught rigging the market. That's when Epstein got caught too. And like I know that was kind of like back news, but I thought that was weird that I mentioned that and then you said Epstein. So.
Oh, so that was a recent thing. I didn't know that. I thought it was like long ago.
No,
Was it like a lot of money?
There are
How much
no
was
free
it?
markets, dude. There are no free markets. Look up Virtue Financial, and they basically are the ones who their computers are the ones who are running the system.
I don't know what players are in the Panelverse, but Colt, you're welcome to come on. I've invited you on before, or hang out in the comments. Or if you don't feel like this is a place for you, go find another one. But
say that
real
again,
players
Water.
on this panel.
I'm not doing
on
anything
panel.
to make you feel excluded. You're definitely
Who are the real players that are on panel right now, dude? Like I don't think we have like
Right
these
there.
are. This is Dolbez. Dolbez is a good old
The
is an old
Norway
friend of ours. I
conspiracy.
mean,
The
yeah,
Vikings.
we've got Sean, the climate change guy, and I actually I don't know Walter really, but he seems
Sean,
cool,
that's
so,
who he's Sean. That's
Did I ever tell you guys about how when I was in, because I was in New York for when like that 9/11 thing happened, and I had to walk through blood and bones to find my brother.
You were in Manhattan that day?
Yeah, he was in northern Canada.
How old were you?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
Fuck you, dude.
I forgot Walter was Lanza. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You confuse me with your multiple names, dude. Every time I'm like, oh, it's a new person. Then it takes
We're
me like
all
5.
just water,
that's
bro.
Lanza.
We're all just like water and carbon or something.
Yeah, I do agree. Cole.
Flow like water, right?
And one person hijacks. I'm not
Here,
sure.
Water.
Who that
What's
was.
your maddest conspiracy theory? What's your favorite one?
What do you mean, like realistically, or like a fake one that I think is hilarious?
Wipers and the
just like the favorite, most entertaining one.
A realistic. What is my
Realistic one,
favorite,
okay.
or like what do you like? Is that what was the question?
Your favorite of both of the unrealistic ones and your realistic ones.
Favorite of a realistic. Oh god, there's not very many favorites, man. They're usually like pretty terrifying and like sad. But I would say, I would say probably my favorite thing about conspiracy theories is the fact that that I know that the threat is usually more valuable than actually having to go through with it. So I think it's hilarious sometimes when they try to throw some stuff out there like, MIT got a $30 million grant from wherever to create these bugs for the CIA that can spy on you. Like, it's like, dude, that shit was from like 2010. Like, if you think these people aren't, like, why is that article even here? You know what I mean? Like, favorite conspiracy that, okay, I'll probably say this. It's that some people say that there's a civilization of underground lizards that actually tell the politicians what to do, and it's called erectile dysfunction.
Oh, didn't David Icke talk about that a lot? David Icke. Yeah. I heard
he
David Icke
didn't call it erectile.
Wait, that was the fake one. That was the fake one.
Yeah.
I don't have. I mean, dude, like, there's nothing. No, I'm not excited. Like, which one am I most interested in? That's probably a better question.
I'll tell you. I don't know if this counts as a conspiracy theory, but
energy,
that's like the most terrifying.
Free energy and technology, you know, like kind of co-opted sort of thing. That's kind of my favorite shit. That and DARPA, which is not a conspiracy. It's DARPA is here to basically make you not live. So defense and
Interesting.
research, or defense aeronautics and research development, or something like that. But dude, yeah, like they
I
run
tell you, I mean,
they run internet dating
go ahead.
internet apps, like dating apps. They run like
The
Facebook,
lizard
like
people.
sure. And so you know how like, so it's basically, I look at it as a form of people trafficking, because they're like, they try to get you based on algorithms to go to certain places. To me, that sounds like trafficking. To me, I could be wrong, because
What, like, what's an
quote
example
unquote
where?
people are choosing to do that. But again, most, you know, things are like of opportunity. So like, whatever.
Shit. Has someone tried to get you to go somewhere? What's an example of somebody that was manipulated to go somewhere?
Oh, like algorithms on Facebook telling you which events are coming up and which ones are like recommended for you and stuff like that.
So, like, if
Just
a
like,
concert's coming to town and you see it on Facebook, that's somebody trafficking you to that concert arena.
what I know is that Facebook, Instagram are the worst in terms of algorithms designed to actually like make you
But
like,
you're in control. Like, if you see something on Facebook, you're still in control of if you get out of your chair and go spend the money to go to that thing. It's just advertising. It's no
right.
different than if you saw it in the newspaper.
Well, advertisement. They're going to advert your eyes and your mentality with an advertisement. Yeah, I'm not even playing around. That's some Smith shit, but like, that's why do you think it's called that? They're adverting your eyes and your mentality. It's an advertisement. Like, bro, like, I don't know what to tell you.
I learned so much on this stream. I'm glad I do it. Thank you. I have no rebuttal.
It's like syllables, man. Like, break these words down. You can actually understand them quite, like, not even maybe as much as a dictionary, but
make it
differently. And yeah.
Well, I would say, like, in my opinion, like, it's really not a conspiracy per se, but I think the most terrifying thing about conspiracies, or about the concept of, like, if there were any people, like, you know, that were secretly controlling things or anything like that, like, the realization I had a long time ago, like, whenever I really believed in that stuff, was that if those people exist, is that they really do believe that they're the good guys. Like, they're not like, you know, they don't think they're evil. They think they're doing what's best for the world, and they really do. Is they genuinely hardcore believe it, and that's what makes
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Well, yeah, it's that's what makes like that concept terrifying to me, is that if there are people out there, it's really easy to beat evil, right? You know, it's really easy to like be against it, but whenever people like really believe that they're doing the right thing for the right reasons, and like they're really like invested in it, that makes them much more easy. It makes me much more difficult to defeat, because they have like that, you know, they really do believe ideologically that they're in the right to do what they're doing, and that's, to me, that's like the most terrifying, or I guess my pet conspiracy, that if such people exist, and then they don't believe they're evil. They don't believe they're doing the wrong thing. And that's
So let's paint the board and just say everyone believes that they're right. Okay? Just work from there. Like, if somebody tells me some crazy off the wall shit and I know it's fake, like, I have no problem. One time my neighbor actually invited me over. He's being all weird. He's like, "Hey, come on over. I'm having a party." And I get there. There's no party. And he's having a pyramid scheme meeting to get people involved in his pyramid scheme. I'm like,
wait, what? What party?
He told me to come over for a party, and it wasn't a party. He lied to get me to go over his house to try to
like
get me
Amway
onto
or
some
something?
like pyramid scheme. Like, that's all this stuff is like, people are trying. if they don't know they're in the pyramid scheme, they will try to get you in the pyramid scheme.
But what was he trying to get you to do? Was it selling stuff?
They brought out a picture of a literal pyramid, and I go, I'm not doing this. I go, yo, like, is it just me, or does anyone else think that looks like a pyramid? Like, yo. And I just looked you guys up on the Better Business Bureau. You got a
like
D+
Amway,
rating.
like
What's
Amway
with
type
that?
thing or something. Because Amway totally uses that pyramid like imagery too.
Bro,
Like,
and
it's
like what I'm trying to say
we're not
is
a pyramid scheme, and
they
yet here's
have-
a pyramid that you got to look at. You know?
they have language that they use, and you can tell that they don't understand it because it's like they're all sharing one brain. So they all have like similar cadence and whatever, because unfortunately so many people are asleep that does work, and that's why scams exist and all that stuff. I don't know where I was going with that, sorry.
Could the
No, I
stock
understand.
market be the biggest scam ever? Is the stock market? I heard the stock market is a pyramid scheme. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Well, that's the stock market is a pyramid scheme if it stops growing. If it stops growing, it's a pyramid scheme.
I don't know. I would just say
It's really just gambling. It's really just legalized gambling.
I think
all
it's
it is.
gambling.
I was told, like living in Vegas, that if you're really serious about like you should play stock market, not waste your time on table games and slots. Like the really smart people use the stock market.
Yeah. The stock market is where the smart money is by far.
Dude, if they made a scratch-off ticket called the stock market, it's over.
Like every ticket you buy, it's like instead of like winning a random amount of money, you win a random amount of stocks.
One of my friends told me he thought that he like cracked the code to like scratch off tickets, where like if it ends, I can't even remember how it was so stupid. If it ends in certain numbers, it's like a winner. And then he's like, yeah. And then I talked to him like a week later, and he's like, yeah, no, I didn't do good with that. He's like, I lost all my money. And stuff. Like, I was like, well,
oh yeah, that didn't work at all.
Like,
I
you know what I
don't
mean?
know why I thought that
people
was
are
going to work well.
they're so excited to get on these like pillars that they think already exist instead of just building their own shit.
Yeah.
Based. Lanza based.
Based indeed.
What are you
And that's
building?
the problem with secret societies too, man. Dude, it's the secret societies, the military, as far as I'm concerned, bro. Like, I feel like, man, never mind.
Secret societies are really
What are you building, Lanza? Are you building anything?
You know what my favorite secret society actually is? I'm building a lot of stuff, but my favorite secret society actually is this fact. Maybe. Up to you guys for your consideration. I think real secret societies are actually people's own ignorance.
Like they don't
You
know.
mean dumb people are
so secret, they don't even know they're in
society?
Yeah, like they're too comfortable. They're not invested in knowing. They're not invested in themselves even. Like to know even things. Like they'll just go, oh, I'll just go with this group. Like it's almost like giving up on your potential to go join some group.
Michael Jackson said that. That's ignorant.
Dude, I don't think Michael Jackson did that with those kids, to be honest. But
I don't think he did either.
And I know someone who worked with Latoya Jackson, and like this person's like basically like a walking Laura Croft princess, dude. And she was like, I don't think he did. I was like, because before she said that, I thought he did, and I was like, fuck. Well, I might. Michael Jackson created the moonwalk, and I did the moonwalk because I've never really been able to do it.
He never walked on the moon. What's up with that?
Yeah, well.
Should have
recorded. But like we were in Mexico, at like you guys know Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza.
I've heard of it. Sure.
It's these pyramids. Well, anyway, we were with these crackers, and they were calling it chicken pizza. But anyway, we were there, and it was like raining a little bit, and it had this cool building, and it was like raining inside the building, and I had these flip flops on, and I was doing the airwalk, and I looked over at this person, and like I don't know, like a little kid, like to their mom or something, like, hey, look, I'm doing the airwalk, and she's like, you got to do the airwalk, and I'm like. And then she showed it to me, and she said she actually, because she's like a choreographer, she said she actually like created it or something.
The moonwalk?
I remember being like, I'm moonwalking right now near this pyramid is what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'll worry about the airwalk after the moonwalk.
Your Dolbez. Do you
Yeah.
believe in conspiracies? Dolbez. I think you're woke, so maybe not.
Well, no, I'm not woke at all. But I have a very personal conspiracy theory, and that is that in the cellars of the Vatican, they have our crown, because in the 1500s, when Norway converted to Protestantism, the last Catholic Archbishop of Norway in Trondheim, he went through the castle as he was leaving and stole the crown and the scepter and a lot of other symbolism of the king. And when he went back, went back to the Vatican. Now, the most likely theory is that he sold it off on a market in Belgium somewhere to get funds so he could travel to the Vatican. But there is a conspiracy theory that he kept it and that the official crown of Norway is still in the Vatican, the one that was made in like 1,000 years ago. And they have not given it back, and it's in the Vatican. So that's the.
Do you really believe?
Kind of like that one rock that they use to like sit on whenever they crown the king or whatever like that. That really belongs to like Ireland or Wales or something like that. And
Yeah,
like there's like
Scotland
big conflict about that. Yeah,
King of Rock or something. They have a rocky throne.
it's just a rock, and this is like, but they're like they're really protective of it. It's very important. This rock is very important to them, and they don't want to give it back.
If it's not in the Vatican, does that mean there's a private owner that has it that hasn't come forward, like, and just has it?
Potentially, maybe
Wow,
it was sold to a noble in Belgium, and it just stayed in the family, and now it's in a dusty old warehouse of some old aristocrat. Maybe it went to France and it was melted down the revolution. We don't know. But the conspiracy theory is that it went to the Vatican.
Your imagination comes up with possibilities.
Yeah, I don't know where it could be.
No, it's something that he read somewhere else, dude. He didn't come up with it.
Yeah, I didn't come up with
I've
it.
read that before. I've read that before too.
Story.
I've read that before too. I know he didn't make that up.
Yeah.
What happened to the crown? That's a cool mystery.
Oh,
I
got one I made up too.
Okay.
It's you guys know, like in Egypt, the pyramids are not only in Egypt, obviously, but like let's just focus on those ones. And they were called pharaohs. And maybe they had to do some shit with magnetics. I don't know, but I do know that pharaoh, Ferro, has to do with like magnetics.
Magnetics, yeah.
And so to have it be Pharaoh today and have them be called pharaohs, whatever before, I mean, that's mine. That's
man.
the one
You guys would love you guys got to look up the old Time Cube archives. You guys would love reading about Time Cube. Time Cube was the greatest conspiracy ever formed by any crazy person ever. It makes no sense, and it's hilarious, and like it's hilarious and kind of sad in some ways, because like the actual story of the guy is actually kind of sad, but like his website was the greatest like collection of spurgery I've ever seen in my life. It made no sense, and yet he was constantly going to universities when he was alive and challenging people with a prize of $1 million if they would debate him and prove that that four-dimensional Earth did not exist. And it was
that's
like
not a very smart challenge, right? I mean, he's bringing attention to something. I think.
Well, no one could disprove it because no one could understand what the fuck he was talking about.
Well, that's
like
what
no one could understand
it
it at all. It was it was total gobbledygook. It makes no sense. You can find it still online. I'll find a link for it. It's been archived because the original link, the website hasn't been existed in a while, but it's called Time Cube. Yeah.
Time who?
Time Cube.
Time Cube. Okay.
I'll find the link and put it in the
Oh yeah, I think I have heard of it.
Who is typing away?
Oh, maybe I should have muted. My bad.
Noel has. Bez, what are you doing? You making profiles on us, bro? Jesus Lord, dude.
Yeah, I'm typing a report to the Norwegian Kripos, Norwegian criminal persecution.
You may be. I mean,
thank God, finally, somebody's gonna support me.
I've been
grinding it for the feds forever, and like nobody will do it.
This is what they talked about on the live stream. Here's the link.
Can you get me into that? I really want to be like a fed. It's like my dream to like be like a get paid just to be on streams and just report back to somebody. I think that that seems like the easiest, best job for me with my vertigo and
you're
everything.
not in
That's
a
like
socialist country. If you were in Europe, you would have. We're just inheriting our
damn
traditions
it.
from East Germany.
It's always something. Always
Yeah.
something. It's just I can just never win.
Have you guys ever had your allegiance bought?
No.
I wish. I'm trying to sell it all the time, and nobody will buy it.
I haven't. I've had jobs that I were loyal to, but not for the money.
Careful, Chris. The last person that said that was Joe Rogan, and look at him.
My allegiance
When did he
is for
say that?
sale, though. If anybody is interested, we could negotiate at bargain prices.
Yeah, bargain prices. I'm talking about. I just need a price for my fridge and stuff like that. I mean, come on.
You still
Come
need
on, I'm willing to
you
sell
had
my
to
soul
shift it to
here.
the car.
I tried to sell
Well,
my soul
you
to the
wanna do a
devil, and he
You
didn't
can't get a
want it.
fridge for like
He was
150.
like, eh.
Do a promo real quick. Go ahead, because I have your link in the banner.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. I do still. I am still trying to raise the money to get the fridge so I can bring my children back home. It has since the GoFundMe first started, we have had 2 rather major setbacks with getting our car towed, and then because like the parking pass just fell from the freaking rear view anyway, and then I got a flat tire a couple of days after that, so that set us back quite a bit. But thankfully, I mean, if it wasn't for the donations, we wouldn't have been able to get that. So I'm thankful for it. But nonetheless, if anyone out there can spare whatever to donate, you can directly to Venmo, Cash App, or to the GoFundMe. It doesn't matter. But I mean, like once again, I don't expect it from anybody. I'm not pushing it on anybody. If you can afford to, that is great. And if you can't, and I will, I have every intention of paying the community back in whatever way I can as soon as I can. So I have been working on old.
You don't pay donations back. That's not how they work.
Well, I didn't mean pay donations back. I meant that I pay back the community in whatever way I can, like through the computers and stuff like that. I've been building these.
Yes, everybody knows that. They know how all donations work. Don't.
I'm just
Focus
saying, like,
on that. Focus on getting the fridge, not so much.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not just trying to mooch off people. I'm trying to offer my skills to give back as well. I feel too bad asking for like donations or
of the thing.
No, I just feel
because it was an experiment to even see what the potential of this is.
Yeah, I know, but no, don't take it out right now. I mean, I still do need the funds. So
okay. Well, so anyway, if you're interested in helping Chris, the addresses are at the little banner calling across the screen.
But I also understand that a lot of people don't have money, and it's not a big deal. So
yeah, but everybody knows. The people that donate know that. They know if they don't have money.
I don't want to come across like trying to guilt people.
Spare.
I just don't want people to feel guilty. I just don't feel guilty if they
well,
can't.
That's not your responsibility. How people feel is not your responsibility.
Yeah, like, Chris, right? That statement right there. The Illuminati will not, bring you on board if you're going to think that, that way.
You're right.
You're
right.
They want to just say we deserve it, period, because everyone else is the cattle. So
you're right. I'm not greedy or self-interested enough. I've been working on it, but I'm just not good at it yet.
I think right now you need to be a little bit more greedy, just because the situation.
Bro, do you guys have any idea how many foundations get caught siphoning and funneling money, like for causes, like actual, like if we all right now made a legitimate cause, and we could get funding, this and that. Dude, people funnel and I'm talking about look up cancer.
Like a scam charity.
Yeah, dude, it's like I don't think they start one without that intention.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying every charity has been concerned.
No, not everyone, but like, man, it's like, yo, some of these things are like, these things should be like,
even when they start out with the best intentions, they get taken over by like suddenly they have CEOs that get paid millions of dollars a year, and they end up distributing most of the funds internally to to employees and people that work for the charity instead of actually doing any charity work. It's pretty disgusting. I mean, that's not even
But
conspiracy.
they have boards of directors. They have accountability. They have annual reports. They have public comment, all that stuff. There are consequences to decisions that nonprofits make.
Oh yeah, they're like the most scrutinized by. Yeah, they're definitely highly scrutinized. If you have a nonprofit, you are essentially under a microscope.
Is it
But
true to use foundations
I find them more
and stuff
like
for the rich
poorly
to not pay
managed.
tax?
Yeah, it's called a private foundation. There's other ways around something too, but like you got to basically know people who work at Goldman Sachs and want, like, these people want to put in $300,000 pools in their house. You got to know those people. If you got to mingle with the liars all the time if you want that kind of thing. I'm not about it. I can't do that. I know I can joke with liars, but like I can't like take them serious all the time.
Yeah, I hear horror stories about people that have tried to start nonprofits, and I won't do it myself because it requires a board, so you have to find at least 3 people you can trust, and that's where the problems start right there. Because if you pick the wrong 3 people,
and see, this is where today's quote unquote like organized secret society or whatever, they all have these they actually funded to make these funnels happen. So like they all know this like, you ever hear about like, oh, somebody came across the border and like they're not even a citizen and like they get all this health care and like they get like all this stuff for free years? I have yet to see it in person, but like, why are my friends not telling me how to do this? Is what my question.
Right.
And like, like, dude, I mean, I'll go wherever I have to go. I'll walk there.
I didn't know you were looking for it. I can tell you how to get all that.
Dude, like,
I thought you wanted to work and build on your own. And
well, no, I mean, just like, I mean, I can like work and build. What do you mean?
But for the sake of entertaining conversation, we're hyperbolizing.
If you do your own building, then you don't need the free shit. You won't qualify for it. But if you want the free shit, that's as an alternative to doing your own thing.
What do you mean as an alternative to? What do you mean?
Earlier in the stream, you praised the idea of building your own stuff.
That's right.
And doing your own thing.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
And now you're saying you want to know how to get all the free shit that the immigrants get.
Yes.
Okay. If you're able to do your own thing, that's better than the free shit. That's better than you're going to get from the free shit. And if you're doing your own thing, they're not going to give you the free shit. So you have to give up building.
Yeah, but he's doing something to get the free shit. So he's doing more shit by getting free shit.
Do what?
And then use the free shit to do your own shit, right?
No.
If you can do your own shit, you're gonna make out a lot better than if you try to get what the immigrants are getting. It's like a step back to what they're getting.
But there's just like, I'm just saying, like, there's like all this legal stuff that like, it's like, oh, if you make under this, or if somebody you work with is handicapped in this way, or somebody you live with is handicapped in this way, this and that. Oh, never mind. It was like a mute point. It was more.
I mean, you can maybe, depending on what you take in and where you live, you can maybe get a little bit of free shit. Maybe an EBT card.
That's why I would say, I think that King Stephen should cross the border illegally. That way he could get the mental health care he actually needs.
Well, go.
I'm just joking.
Let him know.
I'm just joking. I said that to Mitch one day. He didn't like that. Like, how far are you from the border? He's like, I'm not that far.
Stuff, the illegals. Do they actually get all those free things, the illegals?
Not when they come from Canada.
I don't know for sure. I hear rumors. That's like the urban legend, but I don't know for sure what they get.
I mean, they some of them coming from impoverished countries too. But I don't think if you illegally cross from Canada, you're going to get any free shit.
No,
I mean, I've worked in the system here in Seattle on a local level, and there's certain things people can get just walking in off the street, and then there's certain other things they have to qualify for. So it's kind of tiered.
I want the ones off
I
the
don't know
street.
what the people get, like the blanket everybody gets, and what they have to be documented or qualified for, etc.
Well, where do I walk into that you know of? Like, where can I do? Anywhere in any state or something?
Social services office is a good place to start,
Okay.
but you can probably do a lot of it online before you even show up.
I have to do
So
what?
whatever state or city or county you're in, just Google the social services, or sometimes it's called community services.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that because, like, not. Yeah, but these illegals, dude, they're. I mean, there's. Did you know there's money? Obviously, there's money in getting these people over here. So, like, I worked for like a landscaper that was 100% Puerto Rican, but like they're cool, but like they didn't even know that they were part of an organization that was like essentially helping illegals get over here. They didn't even know, dude.
How, like, they were hiring,
like
people,
they would, I don't know, they would get them from like Guatemala or something.
But they didn't know that's where the people were coming from. They were kind of inadvertently.
But it was but it was done through the proper, quote unquote proper channels. But it was still like, I think they were like lying. They were like
still kind of human trafficking.
I think they were like, saying these people were people they weren't and stuff like that. I don't know. But she was
just
like,
a little bit of human trafficking,
But dude, she thought she was helping people. You see what I'm saying? Like
or like helping them get jobs and stuff.
Oh God, she was helping them get a better life.
How did she find out eventually?
She just caught on eventually. Like what? Like I don't know. Like I don't know. I'd have to ask her, dude. She'd be crazy on your channel, bro.
Bring
She's
her on.
Puerto Rican, and her English isn't amazing. So like one time she asked somebody to go buy her son some cleats for his football, but she said clits. So it's like constant stuff like that. It's really funny. She's a really great person, though.
Yeah, she'd be a hoot. What a time we'd have. Have her on. Well, Chris, do you want
to
watch that?
Oh, he just disappeared.
Today's movie is what is it? The Whole Wide World with Renee Zellweger and Vincent D'Onofrio. Based on it's a true story about the guy who wrote Conan the Barbarian. He was probably neurodivergent, probably mentally ill, and it's about this lady that had a relationship with him and wrote a memoir about it. It's a really good movie.
From it kind of reminds me of, even though like this is a much less serious one, but in a lot of ways it's very similar to American Splendor. If you've ever seen that.
Why does that sound familiar? Let me look it up.
It's got Paul Giamatti. It's about the guy that wrote these comics called American Splendor. That Crumb. It's a very similar kind of movie in terms of like it's about
the documentary on Crumb.
Yeah, the documentary. Crumb drew he would write this was the guy that wrote the comic, but like Crumb would draw it, and it's kind of a very similar type story. It's actually really good too. If you've never seen it, that one is high on my list of like one of the best movies of 90. I think it came out 99 too. It's one of those great movies from 1999.
What's it called?
That American Splendor. It stars Paul Giamatti. It's got Hope Davis, and a few other people in it, and it's a lot. It's much about neurodivergent stuff too, and it's really good. I think I haven't seen it in a while, but I would be willing to bet it holds up pretty damn well.
Cool.
Well,
it's probably available on YouTube and shit too. Let me see.
You want me to meet you in the Discord after this wraps up?
Yeah, if we're done with the show, then I guess so.
Yeah, unless anyone else wants to come on, this will be last call.
If anybody has anything they'd like to bring up,
I've been doing evening streams pretty much every evening. So
yeah, we've been the evening streams have definitely been the longer, more involved ones here lately. So
it's possible you'll see us tonight.
Is this the morning for you lads? I'm in America and it's evening here.
Yeah, it's morning it's morning, closer to morning where Jeff is. It's 2 p.m. for me, but
it's
it's
like
noon.
1 in the afternoon here.
Right.
So
okay,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
be
I guess
around
we
tonight
will.
or tomorrow. If you want to join us in the Discord, anybody, just contact us for the link or show up.
That's
All right, you closing then? Should I leave? Are you closing?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up and maybe come back tonight for an evening stream.
All right. Thanks for the conversation. It was a good one. Bye.
All right. Well, thank you, sir, for coming by. I always appreciate your presence at Dolbez. I think you're a hell of a cool guy.
Yeah, it was a good chat about the autism and the mental health. So.
Been very drama free today. Been very nice, very relaxing.
See what we're capable of.
I am 100% for that kind of stream anytime. I absolutely.
Well, it's up to us to make it happen. So let's just keep doing what we're doing.
Yep.
Yep. See you, Dahlia, Colt, Auntie, everyone, Daniel, Gary Baxter. Always good to see you, Lou. Anybody else?
Dahlia usually shows up for the night streams, so we'll probably see her later then when we do that. I'm sure because seems like pretty likely that's what's going to happen. So.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go get a little break and then I'll join you in the Discord.
All right, I'll see you in Discord. And the rest of you, are you guys on the Discord? If anybody wants to join us, I can always drop the link in the back chat or drop.
We'll still have a little bit of drama, like that's almost unavoidable. But we're gonna manage it better, and we're gonna cure it. We're gonna make sure it's high quality drama. We're not gonna have that low tier Springer drama. We're gonna give you some.
Yeah. Well, Moose is pointing out that we're closing down as the numbers are going up. Apparently, our viewers are going up while the viewers are going up while we're closing down. I guess. It does seem like
now that we're wrapping up.
Maybe we should move it. Maybe we should move the stream to 3 or something like that because it seems like people don't show up for like the first hour most of the time. It seems like most of our streams, like the first hour, like that around like the 2 p.m. thing, it seems like people don't really start getting here when we have the longer streams. We usually end up having like a pretty big crowd by the end of it, but I don't know if that's because the time we start or if it just takes time for the algorithm to.
Any thoughts from the audience on pushing it back?
Yeah, I would love to hear it if anybody has any ideas about that. Like, I mean, because it just seems like a lot more.
Like we got
Dolbez
3 or 4 for an hour. I don't know if he'd be able to.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to any other way anyway. So,
but if we do that, I'm wondering if we shouldn't just do a long stream that runs into the evening because if we push it back an hour and take a break and start an evening stream, we might as well just keep it going. That seems such a short time to. Oh, it's bad for Moose.
Bad for Moose.
Oh, 3 p.m. Eastern. So our original time is bad. So if we pushed it up an hour, it might be better. Like pushing it back, like forward, like instead of 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. We could try.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, but I mean, like that doesn't mean that we should necessarily do that. But I was just wondering.
Well, you'll want to try because I schedule them after I close this one. I'm going to schedule tomorrow, so we could try it tomorrow.
Well, and the thing is, I can't figure. But I can't. It's one of two things, though. That like part of it may not even be the time that we start. It may be the fact that like once you've been going for about an hour, the algorithm starts putting the reminders in YouTube more. So it may be just
is
the
that
fact
why
that
people
like
are showing up now because they're just now getting the.
It very well may be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I noticed that even whenever I did
because all of my streams when people are live, it shows me like in sequence right away when they're live. I've never seen it delay it for an hour. But
I haven't either. But I know that whenever I ran the stream on my channel,
I've thought about this, but my issue with this is I need a team I can really, really trust to step away from the computer and have it keep the channel where I wanted and not put it at risk. And until I feel really comfortable about that, but I have considered this. That is a possibility. So, well, should we do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, right? I mean, we don't have to keep going. I just I think let's leave it for now. We've established that, but I think we probably do need to more or less expect a trend. I think we should do an experiment where we stream for at least 2 hours in the afternoon, though, to see if it really does pick up that much.
Okay,
like
so
in the
tomorrow
second
we'll
hour.
leave it at the normal time, and we'll do another test, and we'll notice at the hour
Yeah.
mark if more people are coming in. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, once we get funding, et cetera, and we have a budget, I definitely want to get a producer or engineer, somebody to help with the technical stuff and all the behind the scenes stuff. Also, like I'm recruiting for another wrench of somebody to post links in the chat room and like reminder, like and subscribe or stuff. And what was that other thing we were talking about, Chris, that a wrench could do? Oh, I forgot. I'll think of it. But there's like little moderator task that we're noticing that somebody might be able to help with. So stuff like that.
I mean, I honestly, if I can get the, I'm trying to get my desk set back up downstairs. If I get that all done, if I get it back set up like the way I want it, I could actually do a lot of it because I can set up my little soundboard thing and actually run
but like with the ADHD,
engineering side of it.
Focus to keep it like to do that and the stream. Yeah, Moose, I can do that.
I think I could probably handle it. We'll see. But I just have to get it set up. But like pretty much you need two computers. I need to be able to like have, one computer that's running like
I'm
the
thinking
YouTube part of it,
production
so
is a
it can be
certain skill
monitored.
set that kind of runs in the background and has a different perspective on the stream. Like they would be watching the live version, they would be watching the StreamYard version, they would be making sure the sound levels are et cetera, et cetera. And to me, that would require its own focus outside of trying to do the stream at the same time.
Yeah, but that person would need to be paid. We can't do that right now. So I was saying that
take on. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to wrench you, Moose. Where's that? Oh, where's that option? Oh, add as moderator. Okay.
I mean, I thought we already gave Moose a wrench though.
He has a different account. Let's see.
Oh, okay. He's on two different accounts for it.
All right, I think I got you. There we are. Turn the volume up. Oh, in real, you're having a better conversation in real life than is happening on the stream. That's pretty good when reality takes over for a little while. Yeah, Colt, if you are coming here to have vaccine conversations and you're disappointed that I'm not letting that on my channel, and that's what this is in reference to, then yeah, I'm okay with that. I know if that's the audience, I'm okay with taking a hit for that audience because I'm not gonna be able to provide what they're looking for. Hey, Chopper Jeff, yeah, you're right. Look at everyone showing up now. It's just a wave of them. We're for those that just showed up, I've
noticed this
toying with changing the stream, like moving it up an hour because it seems like everybody shows up at 3 p.m. Central instead of 2. So we're going to keep it at 2 for a few days and collect some more data, but we may shift it around. And we also are we would welcome any feedback on what time slot would work best. So, and
yeah,
we're going
please let us know if it's just that 3 is a better time for you to show up, or if it's that for whatever reason, like you don't notice the stream until it's been on for a while or something, like whatever the case might be. Just like let us know.
Because I get all of mine right away.
Me too. I usually get them in advance of it starting. I usually get them, but if that doesn't mean that's the case for everybody. So I'm just asking.
I have a hard time believing all these people are showing up because YouTube held it for an hour and now is just now notifying all of these people. That just sounds weird to me.
It does sound weird. What's going on, brother? It could be a variety of things. Like another person's stream could have closed down and they could have came over here from there. Or it could be that the timing's off, by an hour. More people are available at this hour than they are the last hour. Could be a whole bunch of shit, It
could be something as simple as maybe like people might see the stream coming up, but maybe they're busy with something at the time, and so it takes about that much time for them to, if they really want to join the stream, they finish up what they're doing, and then they come over. So it may that hour, even though it seems like a long time, that hour buffer of time whenever like no one's really here, may be a necessary evil to build a stream.
Let's keep experimenting and playing around with it. And I don't know if y'all know this, but we have about double the view. We have about the same amount of viewers on Twitter every day too. So whatever y'all see on YouTube, double it, because there's probably that many Twitter people watching as well.
Oh,
which
really?
is crazy because I remember when we were first started doing this, we were never getting Twitter views, and now we are.
Yeah,
but I've noticed it too.
Somehow I have like 1,000 Twitter followers, so it's feeding it. To some portion of that is watching.
I have like I think I have 2,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Gary. Come on. We know Talcott is.
Yeah, I used to.
Flo is at work today, so he said he's not sure he's going to be able to go on.
After I had that viral
cracked in an hour and a half
article, I had like 2,000 Twitter followers, but I never tweeted. So
that's all I see. Frank is streaming if you want to watch video games and possibly some boobage, depending on what characters he plays. That's all I see on my list.
I set up all this stuff to stream some video game stuff, and I just haven't. And for some reason,
no, and I think
as soon as I got it all set up,
you should call them a name of your choice back, Colt. Pick one and lob it at them, and we'll call it fair. You interact all the time. You're one of the main chatters, and I appreciate it. Keep doing it. All right. Okay. We're gonna hang out a little bit because Gary Baxter's gonna come backstage and give some information to Moose.
Sweet. I appreciate that. I think that people are just starting to catch on, but I think your night streams are cool too. Cause like I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, you guys are going deep, like deep into the night. So it's like, I think you're capturing
last night was a pretty funny stream too. If you didn't catch it,
different group of people, different demographic. I did catch some of it. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the timing thing. I don't know if changing the time is a good thing. I think maybe testing it. Do a stream earlier in the day, do a stream in the midday and at night. That way, but I don't know. I don't know how you're going to test it and then know for sure that.
I've seen people.
It kind of feels like you almost need to do a soft opening. You need to open up. And like you need to give it to the stream time to like get warmed up. It's like the engine takes a while to warm up, before people start showing up for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it certainly feels that way.
And I've seen other channels where they kind of got a set time, and then they try to switch it up, and they lose subscribers because they're not at the time that the people thought they were at. So I don't know how it actually rolls to readjust a starting time.
You think we should leave it or bump it up?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I didn't really notice today till Chris pointed it out, so I'll keep an eye on the pattern. It won't take me long.
I mean, people at work, I would assume, get off at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Central Time.
Which people are those?
Oh, that work? I don't know anybody here that works.
I got a job today.
Oh, did you get it? You went on your interview and you got it?
Well, I went to an interview, but then I went back to the museum and they offered me the job. So.
Oh, well, congratulations.
So thank you.
Sweet, dude.
What are you gonna be doing, Moose?
I didn't know you were applying for a museum. What kind of museum you're trying to work at?
It's like an old like 1800s house, and it was like passed down in a family, and it's pretty cool because like I'll be like pretty much like in charge of people come in and do tours and stuff, and then There's also like banquets and weddings and all kinds of stuff I can be part of if I want to. And then my favorite thing is I get to go. I get to do the lawns again.
Like some landscaping.
Yeah, hell yeah! Because it's on 180 acres, and so it's got a ton of
You like doing landscaping?
Dude, riding the mower is fun, dude. Like,
yeah. Oh no, he's right. Yeah, I used to love that as a kid too.
Dude, think about like job wise. Like, think about it. Like, would you rather be standing there like staring at a computer or like, you know, I don't know, sitting in a chair or whatever? I'd rather be out in the sun, getting some sun. I don't know. I don't know, man.
You're a better man than I.
Moose, it sounds like you're living up there in paradise. It sounds like paradise is everywhere you go. You were in Mexico, and now you're up there and making it seem like paradise.
Just like the ancestors, you got to just move with the seasons. You know, you got to be nomadic. If you stay in one spot forever, then you have to go through the bad times. But if you go to like from one spot to the next,
his thing is no bad days, right? So no bad days. You just got figured out.
Yeah. That's.
You were talking. The hell? Oh.
Is that you, Chuck? I can't really hear you.
Yeah, we can't see or hear you. You're this little ghost voice in the mist. And the cigarette. Yeah, we see it. We see
You're like haunting us from the back.
The cherry. When I would trip on acid, I would stare at my cigarette, the cherry on the end, and it would turn into this fiery little demon, like hedgehog demon with the tail, and it would stare at me and look at me. I'd love staring at the cherry.
Jesus Christ. But I was watching a city council meeting from somewhere yesterday.
Was it the one with Talcott on it?
I don't know if it was or not, but they're going to spend almost $5 million on this development group in order to get $107,000 grant from them. Does that make any sense?
Wait, how much are they spending?
$5 million
to get how much?
$107,000 grant.
Well, there's got to be a reason they're doing it.
Yeah, that makes no sense. You're right about that. That makes no sense at all.
It's something to do with the climate longevity projects. I was scratching my head over that one.
We can ask Sean about it next time he's on. He might know how that works.
I just thought that was really strange. Maybe it's a slow phased in project.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
You. I'm with you on that one. That's very, very strange.
Jeff's a fire starter. What'd you do?
But then again, since when does politics ever make sense?
It's called the Challenger. Me and Flo both are the same Enneagram. It's the Challenger. So we look like fire starters, but goes back to that shadow worker thing I keep saying, where people face themselves in me somehow, and we see that happen on here a lot too.
Does that mean you bring out the worst in people?
Something like that, yeah. Because here's what happens: they project their shit onto me, and I know who I am, so I know the thing they're projecting to me is I know what's me and what's the projection, and so I don't internalize or take on the projection. So I kind of bounce it back to them, and they get taken off guard because that process of projective identification they're used to happening, and with somebody like me, it gets reflected back because I know what part to own and what part not. So if somebody's like projecting onto me and telling me stuff about me that I know is not me, then I know it's them and they're telling on themselves. And then so that starts to come out in the conversation. And like that's probably the first time in their life that somebody's confronted with that stuff. And it's not intentional. It's just I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And so when they try to make me think otherwise, then all their shit comes out as a result. Hey, in the back.
Hey, in the back.
All right, there you go, Moose.
Must be Gary Baxter.
Can y'all see people in the back or only me?
No. The only reason I
Anyway,
said
I
that.
thought
you
everyone.
can.
Okay.
No, the only
I can see
reason
the
I
back
said that is
chat, but I
because
can't see the.
I seen Gary
people.
type that he was going to come up and drop some
Hopefully
info.
Moose got it because he. You know what, Moose? I'll copy it and I'll shoot it to you on Discord.
Yeah, sometimes Moose's internet isn't the greatest.
Oh, here he
sometimes.
is. He's back. Can you see it?
I can't see it now. Can one of you guys send it to me in Discord?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, thank you. Here we go. Let me try again.
Where are you?
All right, there we go.
You
He's
better
wearing
be
that-
thankful. Just kidding.
He's wearing that hoodie like Joe Cool.
You owe us now, boy.
That's merch. We got to get a Joe Cool hoodie before he thinks of it.
Oh, before Joe
I saw
does.
Yeah,
the other
branding,
day
branding,
when Walmart,
branding.
Walmart, there was a
Exploit,
big
be
bin of like
exploited.
stuffed animals, and one of them was a Joe Cool, like from Snoopy, you know.
Joe Cool.
Oh, I remember.
But I was
Joe
like,
Cool.
what am I gonna do with that, you know?
I do remember.
That's where the name
Snoopy.
came from. Was Joe
Yep.
Cool was Snoopy's alter ego, you know.
No, Joe. The original Joe Cool was Camel from Camel cigarettes, wasn't it?
Did he come before Snoopy?
I don't remember.
I think Peanuts is earlier than that, but I could be wrong. Peanuts was around for a long time. I don't know.
Joe Cool
which one was
first appeared
If Peanuts was second, that's kind of
I didn't
fucked up.
realize it was that early. I mean, that late. 71 was Joe Cool. So let's see what
Yeah, who's it attributed to?
Camel dude is. Joe Cool is Joe Camel, not Joe Cool. Joe Camel was
Oh, is it Joe
1974,
Camel?
and he's actually
Joe
French.
Camel,
He
that's
was
right.
created for
Joe
a French
Camel.
advertising campaign and then redesigned for America in 88. So in 74, he was in France, but he didn't hit America till 88. So
Okay.
Really?
Snoopy was the original Joe Cool, if we don't count
Wow.
Joe Cool himself.
Well, I
He's
think
probably
Joe
older
Cool
than
himself
Snoopy.
is. Yeah, I think he's older than Snoop.
He's what, 80?
He's got to be at least 85.
I've heard anywhere from 51 to 84. He's not telling.
The
He
way
doesn't
he
look any
brags
older than
about his.
50 to me. I don't know. I don't believe that.
Oh no, the way he brags about his libido, you know he's at least 65.
I just figured he's got autism bad as much as he rocks.
It's autism.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
He's
That's how
artistic.
normal it is to be.
Artism.
He is
Well,
the
he
I
is
suppose
black-
it's better to
from
be artistic than autistic.
He is from Chicago. What do you expect?
I like this.
Chicago. I went to Chicago once from St. Louis, and I drove 300 miles, and the sign said Chicago left, so I turned around and went home. Dum bum bum.
Soundboard. That's another thing we need.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's older than dirt.
I do believe I have a soundboard too.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, Moose, if we ever get off the ground like we're trying to,
It just takes
probably a
time.
roll.
Takes time. I'm still setting up the office. Speaking of setting up the office, I've been pretty busy. Let's see.
You've been busy being pretty. We know.
Let's see.
Let me see. You're so neat. Everything looks so neat and clean and organized. Professional.
He even irons his underwear, I heard.
Who does?
You.
Just some seedlings. These are all different blueberry plants.
Wow.
I got two of each kind. Then I got my strawberry plant right there. It's already starting to grow strawberries.
You got one or more than strawberries?
I got about 30 something right now.
Oh,
plants
okay.
Of strawberry plants. And then in a couple there we go. In a couple days I'll have another 50 strawberry plants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had that funky weather last year, decimated my entire garden except for a few items.
Did you recover it?
I grew what I could grow, which was watermelons, tomatoes, and okra. The strawberries got destroyed. The squash got destroyed. My hot peppers took a beating. Yeah, it was bad. The corn got wiped out.
Damn.
Well, it got real hot real fast, and then we had a 2-week cold snap, and then it rained like hell for about 2 weeks. Yeah,
and a watering
was hideous.
can, a compost bucket, and a watering can. You need that. What's a compost? But is that the slop bucket that you keep by the sink and scrape your food into? And then you had to go dump it on the compost pile out in the back when it got full, and it had eggshells and coffee grinds in it.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful you don't start a fire with it.
With the slop?
Well, with the compost pile.
Oh.
If you just leave them setting without turning them, they'll start to smolder eventually.
We had one of the big mulberry trees, like the really good one, was in the middle of the compost pile. So we had to climb up the compost pile to get to the mulberry tree to pick our mulberries.
Oh my goodness.
But it was covered with dirt and leaves. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It covered pretty quickly. But that's where we would go dump the slop.
Dump the slop. Did you guys ever have a slop jar when you was growing up, Jeff?
We had, you know what we had? There was those. You remember the gallon buckets of ice cream, like the Neapolitan?
Yeah.
They were the clear plastic tubs. That's what she would keep by the sink, and we'd scrape our food into that. And when it got full, she'd send one of us out. My grandma would send one of us out to dump it at the mulberry tree.
I'm talking about the one that used to sit by the bed.
Oh no.
I remember those. We come down to visit relatives, and every bed had its own slop jar.
Oh,
because you didn't want to go out and use the outhouse in the middle of the night.
Oh well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had like normal house and plumbing, but we had some relatives that had an actual outhouse. They had no running water or.
Yeah, that's how my relatives
outhouse. It had the little moon carved into it.
Yep. Used to come down and visit them, and if I had to take a number 2, I'd walk to the gas station, which was about 3/4 of a mile down the road. Ain't no way I'm going in there. Ain't happening. There might be something bigger than me in there.
Oh yeah.
That was when I was a kid, about 10 years old, I guess. Every time we come down, I'm like, nope, I don't need no splinters in my ass.
Oh, they didn't do it right then. It was like unfinished.
Yeah, it was.
Theirs was finished, like the wood was finished, and it was paint. It was green. It was painted like dark green, so everything.
Oh wow, you had a fancy one.
I guess so. It didn't seem fancy as a kid compared to a regular restroom, but I guess it was. We had at the camp. We had an old one, like you're describing, with the splinters that I would never. And we were always scared there was snakes in it because there usually was. So
snakes and
that
spiders.
Was a scary outhouse.
For some reason, spiders would hang out.
Hi.
Hi, Cynthia.
I was asking about the 5-gallon compost bucket. Like I've been watching those, and I'm not sure if I want to start one or not because I live in an apartment, so I would just put it on my patio. But I'm seeing where people will put 2 buckets. They'll put 1 bucket and they'll drill a bunch of holes, and then they'll make they'll do a hole to open up water or something. Put that gadget there.
Catch the juice, the slop.
Yeah, and then they put the second bucket. They put holes and they put the compost in that. But then they're going and getting water from the compost and watering their plants with it. So I was wondering, has anybody ever done that?
Definitely not Jeff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it was just something I was looking into. I didn't know if y'all have done anything like that.
Not me.
Anywho, how's everybody today? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, it seems pretty happy. We were gonna go watch that movie with Renee Zellweger.
Anytime I try to watch a movie, I can't get sound on Discord. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Oh, are you right-clicking on the screen itself? They have some audio settings. Maybe it's on mute or turned low.
Oh, I'm not right-clicking on the audio settings, so I'll have to do that today.
I know when
we can talk you through it too.
Oh, okay, cool.
When I try to do it on my phone, the audio's always extremely low. When I use
you kind of need a pair of headphones to use it on the phone.
Turn, and then the stream itself, the movie itself, has a volume control on it, so you can adjust it to if it's too low.
Yo, Cynthia, you were talking about composting.
Oh, Sean, you're
all your compost.
really bad.
Sean, I really want to hear this, but you're breaking up your audio. But yes, I am interested in composting in the 5-gallon bucket. I really want to get more into recycling and not just being so wasteful. It's like Delia was saying, the banana peel. Like if I eat a banana, I want to be able to reuse that banana peel.
Oh, it's you're thinking about putting all your compost waste in a small bucket in your balcony somewhere to decompose it, and you don't throw it away in the bin.
Yes.
And that's what they do in YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I've been watching it, and I want to make a little rolling garden too out of my old plastic containers. I really want to recycle. I'm in a really recycle season in my life.
Yeah, so you want to put all your food waste, your compost waste, in a bucket outside with a hole in the bottom, and it'll decompose there. And you can maybe put some dirt on top of it, like that doesn't smell, because it might smell. And maybe don't add too much water in it.
So you are supposed to add water?
Add a bit, but don't add too much, because if it's too wet, it might cause methane, and that will stink up the place.
So how long does it take for this to break down and do what it does until I can use it again on my plants?
It depends on the temperature and how much water there is in it and how much carbon there is. There's a science in composting. It's actually quite interesting. So they say to add like 50% carbon, which is like cardboard and stuff like that, straw.
Yeah, I was seeing
and
that.
Then 50% food waste, like everything else.
Okay, so would it be cardboard and like sticks and branches?
Paper. I'm not sure if you can put all the paper, any type of paper, but yeah, I think most papers you can put in there. I think it would be a good idea. I mean, you can try it outside and see if it works, and if it stinks up the place, you could always throw it back in the bin, you know.
Now, have you seen where they'll do two buckets? They'll put one bucket on top of the other one and then somehow get like a juice out of it or something?
Yeah, the juice is very fertile, so you can use that for. But you got to be careful because you might attract rats or mice or some. So that's why you don't want to put any cooked foods in it or any
okay.
So rats and mice can get in there. But I don't know exactly what you're talking about. So it's like a mini compost bin in your apartment. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, out of the 5-gallon bucket. Yes, I have one spot that gets full sun from noon until sundown. Delia's asking me. Okay.
I mean,
well,
just
I
look
definitely
up more.
want to try it.
Yeah, just look up more videos about it because I actually don't know about it, but I'm interested because I study horticulture, so I know about plants and stuff like that and composting. But I've never done it in a small scale in an apartment, which is interesting.
Yes, it will attract a bunch of unwanted guests. Ugh. I guess it's just spring and I'm just in the mood to plant and grow things.
Oh, I was actually going to ask you, Cynthia. Like, I have this couple of tubs of just like, I don't know, they're various like antique knick-knack type things. And I kind of try to sell them and stuff like that. But it's too much of a headache because like I didn't know if you collected anything like that. And if you like them, I'd be happy to give them to you. Like I just like for nothing. Because I had to have like a whole bunch of like some of it's like antique teapot type stuff, and like it wasn't us that collected it. It was this girl that lived here before, and she just like left us with like these boxes full of. Some of it was junk that got thrown away, but like a lot of it's nice stuff. It's just like it's not something we have any use or room for. So if you'd like it,
yeah, Chris, we need to definitely link up. I mean, and meet up and stuff.
Definitely.
I know you got a lot going on right now, so just
it's just been a stressful last few but it'll be all right.
Everything works out. This too shall pass, is what I always tell myself whenever things are rough. This too shall pass.
I actually really like that one OK Go song. This too shall pass. That it's like the whole refrain of this thing. It's the one where they did that crazy freaking Rube Goldberg video. Did you ever see that video for that? Where like they set up this massive Rube Goldberg device inside this warehouse, like where like it's like like where like one thing knocks the other thing over and all this stuff, and like it's all done in one shot. It's the timing of it's amazing. Yeah, I love that video, and like I love like the refrain of like when the money comes. That's like it. I feel like that's my life right now. It's like, well, when the money comes.
No, buddy. I've been there myself. Hey, have you gone to Irving Cares?
I have been to Irving Cares. We've gotten
okay.
When our food stamps were, they were giving us all the food stamps we used to get from the food bank there.
And they'll pay your rent 1 month if you haven't used it before.
They won't because I don't have a job.
Oh.
You have to be employed.
I went to there 1 year and they paid my rent.
I think they've changed. That was my understanding. Like, because I read something on the website about or on the internet that they did that. And when I talked to them, they said like they couldn't do any utilities or rent pay stuff. If you weren't currently working.
Okay.
Which I was like, well, if I was currently working, then what I need, But anyway, so it's like one of those weird things. But it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I did apply for all this stuff though through Irving Cares. Irving Cares they're very nice people though. They've always been very kind.
Yeah, I've definitely gone to them in my desperate times before, and they've always been helpful. And I've always made sure to give back to them as well when I had some.
Right, yeah. Definitely.
Your big move.
Oh,
did you ever try and grow some weed? I'm thinking about growing some hemp, not weed, but hemp. So I get the organic. No, I buy the hemp seeds they eat in the health food store, and I'm gonna plant some, and they get really tall. Like weed is different than hemp. Hemp gets really tall, and doesn't have much THC or CBD in it, but it looks cool.
I thought hemp was a different part of the plant. I didn't realize.
No, hemp is the same family of the weed family, whatever, but it's totally used for totally different. It's totally different than the weed or there's ruddigularis is for getting high, but hemp is for other uses like clothes, paper, other useful like you can make.
Are you going to make clothes and paper out of it?
Yeah, hemp. Just look up documentaries about hemp on YouTube. It's very interesting.
Sure.
The Americans used it a lot to make the Constitution. The Constitution was written on hemp paper. All their sails and ropes were made of hemp.
Washington, I think, was a hemp farmer. So one of the founding fathers was a hemp farmer.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking about hemp, because and weed. It's because it's the most cool plant out there, and it also smells though. If you grow weed at home, it stinks up the place. It's a really strong smell.
It's actually so strong that like people complain. So
Just the growing of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I've grown for over 20 years. And so, like, you know, even your own family members, like, they're like, oh, shit, it smells like weed in here or something, you know? It's like, well, what can you do?
Did you actually grow it to make money or just for yourself? Or
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean, because like I grew it for myself in many years of my life, and I also grew it for business, not for myself, but like under a business.
Oh.
I ran a collective for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had a marijuana. He had a grow operation, and I helped him out a little bit, like a few days, getting the crop in.
It's a lot of work.
It was fun. It was really. We trimmed. You have to trim the buds to get them ready for sale.
Yeah.
And it was very relaxing. We sat there and trimmed and talked and trimmed and talked, and it was like, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for a long time, but then once I got
to grow it? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you allowed to grow it legally in where you are? Any of you guys legally?
Well,
I heard in Germany they legalized it.
I'm not going to answer that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can grow it outside in your front yard if you want it here. But I mean, you still annoy people with the smell and stuff.
Where are you based, Moose? Florida?
The moon.
You're somewhere in the south, anyway.
No.
Oh no. No, he's
very much the opposite. He used to be very, very much more south than like where I am in Mexico. Now he's very, very much further up north than I am. So that should tell you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
in the Northeast. Yeah.
Well, y'all want to go watch movies?
Yeah, let's go wrap this shit up. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go watch the movie.
We'll be back tomorrow, folks. Hit that like, share, subscribe.
They'll be here tonight.
Yeah, they'll be here tonight.
Probably. Well, probably tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
Maybe, probably. Who knows? You'll know. You'll know when they turn on the stream. Hit the live button.
Yeah,
you'll see.
If you subscribe, you'll get a notice in advance. Yeah. I try to schedule it at least half an hour.
And hit the like button, for the Lord's sake. I mean, it doesn't cost you any money. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't change your YouTube. All you're doing is hitting the like button. You're helping somebody out. So hit that like button. If you've already hit it twice more. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Oh, thanks. And tell your friends. And share the link, like in groups or something, if you feel moved. Okay, so we'll head to Discord.
Thank you guys. I'll have a good day, and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
All right,
see you soon.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone. All righty. See you whenever. Tomorrow or tonight or Discord. Take care. All right.